You ever had to make a huge decision that just seemed nearly impossible? Well, this is an application designed to make that process just a little more logical. Like any decision-making process, you start by simply listing any pros or cons related to the decision, but the key difference with this app is that you give each pro or con a weighted score out of 10. Once complete, the app will then use a pretty simple formula developed by Seymour Schulich to determine whether you should either go for it, hold off for a bit, or just say no altogether. Super helpful stuff. Alright, from there we have Lawnchair 12, the brand new version of one of my favorite third-party launchers of all time. Now, first things first, the development team behind Lawnchair 12 actually had to do a massive rewrite of the code so that it was more in line with Google's latest offerings. And that means a lot of the hardcore customization features of past Lawnchair versions are actually no longer present. But that said, you still get most of the core customizations you'd want out of a third-party home screen launcher, including third-party icon packs, custom grid sizing, the ability to hide apps in the app drawer, plus a stack more. But for me, what makes this version of Lawnchair so great is that it's now compatible with the latest version of Quick Switch on rooted devices running Android 12. And that means you can set it as your phone's stock default launcher, giving it full access to the gestural navigation system, which is amazing. They've also brought with it a bunch of Material You theming options, which is pretty great. So even if you just want to have a taste of Material You on older versions of Android, well, you should definitely check it out. Now, one feature yet to be brought back to Lawnchair 12 though, is the ability to customize individual icons. Basically, if your icon pack of choice doesn't support a certain app, well, tough luck. And so I actually discovered an app called Icon Pack Mixer that can basically fill in this void. The app will essentially show you a list of every application installed on your phone, alongside corresponding icons from any icon pack installed on your phone. You then run through the list and select whichever icon you want for each application, and then once done, you simply tap on Mix Icons. This will then allow you to export an icon pack APK file, and once it's installed, it will then show up in your third-party launcher of choice, and therefore apply all of those individual icons accordingly. And so in conjunction with another app called Icon Pack Studio, that's how I created this home screen setup with all of these beautiful little icons everywhere you look. After that, we have Hurry, which is a really simple yet well-designed countdown application. You simply hit this plus icon to set up an event, then you give it a name, category, and date, and then you get to select from a massive collection of GIFs powered by the super popular Giphy platform. And then not only can you view all of your selected events within the app's main interface with neat animations when you tap on each event, but you can also create interactable widgets for your phone's home screen. And you can then even share image versions to your friends and family. And it's just a really clean, well-designed version of an otherwise pretty popular concept. Okay, here's a cool one. If you're someone who keeps your phone on silent for most portions of the day, but you want to be able to have a better idea of which apps are sending you notifications, then Vibrons is an app that will actually let you customize your phone's vibration patterns on an app-by-app basis. You simply add any apps you like to this assigned vibrations list, and from there, you can select from a range of unique vibration patterns that are super distinguishable. You can also tap in your own patterns and save them to the app as well. And honestly, it just works exactly how you'd expect it to. Now, I don't know about you or your family, but for my wife and I, one of our least favorite parts of prepping meals is actually coming up with the meal ideas in the first place. And so that's where Whisk comes in. This is a pretty handy application designed to make finding and saving recipes a much easier task. Now, to start, you can obviously explore any of the saved recipes within the app, which makes it great for gaining inspiration for meal ideas. But what's really cool is that you can actually take recipes you find online and share them directly to the app. The app will then convert these recipes into their much easier to navigate interface, and you can then add any of the ingredients to the inbuilt shopping list. You can even change the default serving amount, which will automatically update the ingredients list, and it will even give each recipe a health score based on the ingredients used. Seriously, a fantastic meal planner and recipe saver application. Anything to picture-in-picture really doesn't need a heck of a lot of explaining, but in short, this is an app that will let you view any content stored on your phone in that little picture-in-picture window. You can either select an image or video from within the app itself, or you can select the show in picture-in-picture option via the share sheet within your photo gallery of choice. But then from there, your selected media will show in this little picture-in-picture window as described. It actually uses your system picture-in-picture mode, so there's no real customizations you can make, but it really does work quite well and is definitely an app I can see being super useful for a whole lot of you. Now, from there we have Shiftwork, and this is a really well-designed calendar application for anyone needing to organize their work schedule. The app has a bunch of presets you can use to quickly set up your schedule, but you can of course also dive in and customize these presets as well, or even just manually input your schedule as need be. And then there's this really cool analytics page for tracking how many hours you've worked each week, how much money you've earned, as well as the amount of shifts in total. But what stands out to me is the design. The entire app is just a visual treat to look at with fantastic icons utilized throughout. And so if you're someone who relies on this sort of an app to keep a track of your working week, then for me, this is the one to go for. Okay, many of you know that for a good portion of this year, I've been working with a couple of developers to launch my very first application. But even with that being the case, I still have pretty much zero clue when it comes to the coding side of things. And so enter Programming Hub. This is a really popular application that's been around for quite some time now, but I only just discovered it, and I was really impressed with how much it packs in. So whether you want to learn Java or C++, Python, Kotlin, you name it, there's courses for pretty much any type of coding and for any level of expertise as well. And each course is really well designed and makes for easy following. Definitely a really handy tool if you're looking to enter the wild world that is coding. And if coding isn't quite for you, but perhaps app design is of interest, then our final app for today's episode, Marvel, might be one you want to check out. This application essentially lets you design and build interactive app prototypes all from your phone. Trust me, as someone who has worked with a bunch of developers this year, I kind of wish I'd gotten onto app prototyping a bit earlier, and Marvel is a pretty solid option. There's a whole heap of tools to bring your prototypes to life, and once you've started building your pages, you can then link actions to other pages and choose unique animations, which is really, really helpful when it comes to handing projects off to developers. Even if you're not keen to get into app design, it's still an incredibly fun application to try out. And so that's it. That is the last top apps video for 2021, but I will of course be dropping my yearly roundup of the best apps later this month, as well as a fresh list of 20 unique applications right at the start of the new year. So buckle up, hit subscribe, and stay tuned. Now, for those who have made it this far into the video wondering, what about promo codes? Well, I didn't forget, I do indeed have a bunch of promo codes to give away. So a huge thank you to the developers behind the apps on screen right now. And as always, I'll be giving these away over on my Instagram stories in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So make sure that you follow me over there to have a chance at claiming one of the many codes on offer. But aside from that, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will catch you later.